Hi everyone, it's Miss Werlow, and today I'm here with Miss Hecht, who is the social worker from the middle school and high school who works as our prevention services provider. We've both spoken to you before about different aspects of digital citizenship, and today we want to focus on what it means to leave a digital footprint. So in this activity, we'll be asking you to consider the impact that respectful, responsible online behavior can have on you and on others. We'd like to start by sharing some information from commonsense.org, which is a really good resource for any questions you might have about using social media and technology in a positive way. And as I mentioned, today we're talking about your digital footprint. And this is all the information online about a person, either posted by that person or others, intentionally or unintentionally. This can include any of your online activity, including your comments on news articles, your social media posts, or your presence in your friends' social media, even records of your online purchases. So it's really important to know your digital footprint. Know that it's growing. Your footprint expands as your information is copied and passed on, making it more searchable and viewable to a large invisible audience. It's not just up to you. When other people like your friends, companies, groups you belong to, when they track, post, or share information about you, that becomes part of your own footprint. And you need to know that it's permanent. Because it's archived in a variety of ways and passed on by others, it doesn't ever go away. But when you know what makes up your digital footprint, you can take steps to ensure that you have a positive presence online. And this is called personal branding. And that's the practice of marketing yourself to the public using social media, personal website, advertisements, or other non-digital tools. So as we go along, we just want you to consider these two essential questions. Keep these in mind. How can information you post online affect your own future opportunities? And more importantly, how do you want to be seen by others? We're going to start by showing you this news clip about something that happened with Harvard University. And as you watch the video, keep these questions in mind. Why did Harvard revoke the student's admission? What was their reasoning for doing so? And do you agree with their decision? Why or why not? What was the impact that social media had in this case?
Now with that college admissions bombshell, Harvard University rescinding acceptance for 10 incoming students after they reportedly posted offensive messages on social media. ABC's Adrienne Bankert is outside the campus there in Cambridge, Massachusetts with the latest. Good morning, Adrienne.
Good morning to you, Amy. Yes, 10 of about 2,000 elite students who fulfilled their dreams of being admitted to Harvard are now being told their futures at the school are over before even starting. Harvard is renowned for accepting only the best and brightest. But this morning, the dark side of an online student chat room started by some incoming freshmen has caused administrators to revoke their admissions. The university's own paper, the Harvard Crimson, reports that a group of 10 students accepted to the class of 2021 and meeting on the college's official Facebook page created an alternative page full of memes containing provocative and derogatory images and captions. The content too offensive to show, with R-rated memes poking fun at topics like the Holocaust, sexual assault, and targeting ethnic groups, one allegedly calling the fictional hanging of a Mexican child Piñata time. The Crimson reporting that incoming students who wanted to join the R-rated chat had to first post something offensive in another group dedicated to mostly lighthearted memes. Wyatt Hurt is one of the school's newly admitted freshmen.
I haven't heard really any dissent on people saying that this was the wrong thing to do. It's definitely reassuring that as Harvard, as a society, we still stand by the moral values that we were built on.
Harvard admissions even posting on the class of 2021's Facebook group description that they have the right to withdraw an offer of admission if an admitted student engages in behavior that brings into question his or her honesty, maturity, or moral character. Now, we do have to tell you that many here, including students at Harvard, support the school's decision to revoke those admissions. But some proponents of free speech are criticizing the school for punishing those on the chat room who posted what they did on their own time. Amy?
All right, Adrian, thank you. And let's bring in ABC News senior legal correspondent Sunny Hostin. And Sunny, no question, Harvard has the right to rescind these admissions, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, we just heard that under their admissions policy, it clearly says that they reserve the right to withdraw that offer based on honesty, maturity, or moral character. And that brings into question the moral character of these kids.
Right, but what about the free speech argument?
That is the argument. Listen, they have every right to have posted this, to have said what they said, but Harvard also has the right to impose consequences on what they said. That is just the law. They can say whatever they want, but they have to suffer the consequences as well.
You're a mother, I'm a mother. You start to think, oh no, what do you say to your kids about what's appropriate and how much do you monitor this?
Look, I often tell my son, once you press send, it is out there. You have no control. People, you may think it's a private conversation. People can screenshot it, they can use it. And if you think about it, 350 admissions officers were surveyed. 35% of them say they use social media as a tool for acceptance. They look at everything. Employers look at everything. I showed my son this last night, and he said, oh my goodness, they're now not going to go to Harvard. I said, they are now not going to go to Harvard.
And good luck getting in any school now with that on their history.
Exactly.
And as you mentioned, employment, this isn't just about college applications. These are also people looking for jobs. You know, we've got some of our kids have been in social media their whole lives. They don't realize the impact this will have.
Employers certainly look at it, and if you are already employed, your employer can fire you for something like this. They can prevent you from being employed for something like this. We really need to get back to a time of civility, and we need to be careful about what we're posting and putting out there.
Yeah, social media literacy should be taught, right?
Please.
Sunny, thank you. Now, with that college admissions bombshell, Harvard University.
Okay, so just take a moment again to consider this scenario and how it affected everyone involved when these students made the choice to express harmful messages online.
So please pause your video now so you can visit the attached resource guide. So in the resource guide, there's links that you can click on. There's some articles, blog entries, and a book excerpt. I especially recommend the videos and students' hateful speech result in rescinded acceptance. These are events that have happened recently. They've happened this month. So please take a look at that. I mean, please look at all the resources. One of the videos talks about high school athletes that were disciplined after racist posts, and the other video talks about a student who has posted pictures that involve alcohol and the consequences that happened after this. So please take a moment to look at these resources. In about 15 minutes, you can see them all. So this is a great way to kind of think about your social media postings, and hopefully this is the brand image that you are showing the world with your posts. So you want to show that you're inclusive, that you engage with others online with respect and empathy, that you're informed, that you evaluate the accuracy, perspective, and validity of online information, that you're engaged, that you use technology for civic engagement and to be a force for good, that you're balanced, that you prioritize your time and activities both online and offline, and that you're alert and you know how to be safe online and create safe spaces for others. Here are some things to reflect upon. How can someone's digital footprint have a positive or negative impact on their future opportunities, such as scholarships, college admission, or job hiring? What is your reaction to this? How do your posts, videos, comments, and shares affect others? And consider your current digital footprint. Are you sending the message that you want the world to see?
And always remember, we define who we are, whether in real life, online. This phrase is so important to remember. You have the power to define who you are. Before we wrap up, I'd just like to ask Mrs. Hecht a few questions about the concept of a digital footprint. First of all, why do you think this topic is so important?
Thank you, Ms. Merlo. I think this topic is important for many reasons. First of all, you want to make sure your posts are a reflection of who you are and that you're showing the character traits you want the world to see. One bad decision can change the course of your life. This is not just true of social media posts, but also the choices that we make. It is important to make decisions in a healthy way and not based on impulsivity or negative emotions. It's called a footprint because it is left behind for others to see. The footprint cannot be washed away by waves at the beach. It is an indelible mark.
What kinds of things should people consider before they post something online or before they react to someone else's post?
Okay, that's another good question. I think people should ask themselves before they post something, is this statement true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? Will there be negative consequences to self or others? It might not be the best idea to post late at night when you're tired, distracted, or coping strategies are minimal. You might regret it if you post when you're in the heat of emotion, especially anger. It is better to calm down and make a post based on good decision making instead of impulsive emotions. Posts written in anger, jealousy, or revenge are often viewed with regret. Give yourself time and space between your emotion and your reaction. Once you hit send, it is no longer in your control.
Okay, thank you. And one last question. How do negative posts or videos or comments impact our community?
Okay, I appreciate your question. Negative posts can cause hurt and division. When you're part of a community, whether it's a school or town, it is important to do things to help each other and come together in a positive way. Derogatory posts can cause a divide and break down communities. The schools mentioned in the news stories in the presentation care about the feelings of their students and others. Harvard did not want to be known as a school that tolerates hateful and disrespectful discrimination. Be a positive influencer on social media. Let's build our community up in a positive way.
Hey, thank you, Mrs. Hecht, and thank you all for spending the time with us today learning about your digital footprint. We hope that you continue to make good choices, and we want to remind you that we're both here as a resource if you'd like to learn more about this topic. In addition, you can visit commonsense.org for more resources about responsible social media and technology. Remember, you define who you are.